Good evening, people. Welcome. Today, obviously, I've got a lot of people with me. Hopefully, they'll come on shortly. We're going to be talking about, obviously, Liverpool Football Club, especially the game against Burnley. We're going to be talking about some players leaving. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff on here tonight. So please fasten your seatbelts and get ready. I'm just coming back shortly. Let's do this, people. Let's do this. I love that tune, honestly. I love that tune. Yes, people, like I always say, please hit that subscription button, notification button, and the like button as well. Welcome to Let's Talk LFC. We're going to be bringing in, first of all, my partner in crime. Obviously, everybody knows him as LAZER LFC. So let's bring him in. The legend that is LAZER LFC, the best, obviously, basically streamer. That's what I call him. Like, he could make anything look good when he's on stream. So the best streamer. Let's go, LAZER. Let's go.
You're gonna make my head grow. Thank you so much for the compliment, bro. I don't know about that yet. I still got a long way to go. But good evening to each and every one of you people. Thanks for tuning in, and it's a pleasure as always, Fuzzy, to work alongside you.
Yes, definitely. Thank you very much, bro. And I'm going to bring in my brother, Rob. Obviously, we've been friends for years and years now. So let's bring in Rob and we'll talk about, obviously, Liverpool eventually. So let's go. What's going on, Rob?
Yes, hey, guys. You all right?
Landscape.
Yeah.
LAZER, Fuzzy.
Landscape, Rob. Landscape. Oh, good, bro.
Hey.
Landscape.
All right.
Here we
Rob,
go.
turn the camera to landscape. To landscape, bro.
Landscape it up.
Landscape it up.
There you go, bro. There you go.
I'm a landscaper for the evening, boys.
What's going on, Rob? You okay, mate?
Yeah, I'm all good. All good, my friend.
Oh, man, we're delighted, man, to have you guys on today.
Why isn't life
good?
Yeah,
mate. I'm telling you, mate. There's nothing better than supporting Liverpool, you know what I mean? And we have our ups and downs, but we always come back on top, don't we, man? So, guys, we're going to start with, obviously, Terry McDermott, a legend at Liverpool. He's one of the best players, best players of the 70s, you know what I mean?
Should we get some early commenters up first before we...
Yeah, of course. Go on, LAZER. Go for it, bro. Go for it, mate.
Oh, people. Want to big up to Aesthetic Queen. She's saying, yes, LAZER and Fuzzy, big up to the both of you. And one of our regulars, Mr. John Conway. Big up to yourself, John Conway, and Jade as well. Thanks for stopping by. Big up Fuzzy and the chat gang. John, once again, my reminiscence life. My wife. You do a good combo. Fire. And the football sanctuary. Big up, fellas. How are we all doing? We are doing great because we got the 3 points against the Burnley on the weekend. Doing good. Thanks for stopping by. How are you, Rob? How are you doing, Rob? And how was your weekend?
Good, man. Yeah, finally beat Burnley after last season. A relief, mate. A relief. Always a tricky team.
I'm telling you guys, it's gonna be a good season. I have this feeling, you know what I mean?
As well, man. As long as we keep our players fit, I've always maintained this from day one. Yeah, it's the fitness.
So let's start with Terry McDermott, guys. He has been diagnosed with dementia, and we heard of, I think, Dennis Law from Manchester United as well, Man City Man City player as well has it. Yeah. So a few of the older players are having this, obviously. They've all been diagnosed with dementia. What do you guys think? Like, of the new balls, are they as heavy as the previous ones? What do we basically need to do about heading in football, Laser? Like, they're trying to. I've heard in the youth system they try to limit it now. They can't basically header it anymore, the ball, because they don't want them to grow up, with this kind of diagnosed dementia.
Well, me personally, it's a tough one. Obviously, football has evolved. It's a sport that evolves and grows over time. Apparently, well before our lifetimes, the ball was like triple the weight. Yeah. Apparently, it was really heavy. Was it made out of pigs? Yeah. Whatever it was. What was it?
Bladder.
Yeah, and the leather as well. You know what I'm saying? So obviously, times change and that. But for me personally, if we're going to eliminate heading, now this may come across controversial. To me, it's not going to be football. A lot of goals come from heading. Defending comes from heading. Attack started from heading. You can assist from a header. Do you know what I mean? So whether they make the ball a little bit lighter, I know they've done that in recent years. The flight of the ball changes depending how you kick it. Remains to be seen. But for me, if they're going to start going in a way where you can't header the ball and this, that, and that, for me, football's just going to die. It's already changing with the advent of VAR and stuff. I just don't see what
are defenders going to do? What are defenders? Ball's coming in, I'll let it drop. Pacey striker goes in and scores.
And if you look at the statistics, it's very few and far between people get hurt, and get long-term damage from heading the ball. You got to look at ex-players that are retired now and that now have gone on to be managers and pundits. You don't really hear nothing of it. It's a gamble you take, whichever sport you do. Look at boxers, for example. They know what they're getting themselves into when they're hitting that ring. Athletes, wrestlers, etc. Ultimate fighters, mixed martial arts. Do you know what I'm saying? There's always comes a price, whichever sport you do. And I think if you're going to eliminate that, obviously from the grassroots or from kids that are under age, let's say they're under 8 or whatever, yes, there has to be a bit of limits because their brain's still developing, their skull's still developing. But if you're going to eliminate that from the highest level game, for me, I think that's nonsense. If I'm going to be really honest with you, I don't agree with it.
I agree.
It's part of the
game. But like I said, Terry McDermott is a legend for Liverpool. He's won multiple European titles. He's won obviously the first division on a regular basis for Bob Paisley's side.
Of course, man.
He's a Scouser as well. People think like he came from Newcastle to Liverpool, but he was born in Liverpool, so he was a Liverpool fan way before he joined Newcastle. So obviously our thoughts go out to him and our praise go out to him because listen. Football, we're all a family at the end of the day, and it doesn't matter if you're from a different team.
Of course,
we're still gonna support you. We're still gonna support you for this situation. So, people, let's move on to the Premier.
Go on, bro. McDonald's, if you're watching, get rid of these stupid straws. Get rid of them. Look, they have to put them out of reserve. I'm gonna have to drink it from the cup. They're so stupid. But anyway, we move on. And
we move, of course, to Premier League. To the Premier League, of course, people.
Going back to what you're saying, I'm sincerely sorry to hear that the legend Terry McDermott is suffering with that illness. There's many people that suffer with it. Sometimes in life, things happen. I don't think we can solely blame it on the down to football. It depends. As a person, these things happen. You get illnesses for whatever reason, people's bodies break down and go a different way for many reasons. You get it early in life, later in life. All I can say, I just hope his remaining days is not going to be difficult because what I've heard of that illness, that disease is not very good, man. So I just wish all the best for that him and his family, man.
Especially for his loved ones as well.
Yeah,
his family around him. It must be hard to see him like that.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Yeah, man.
So let's move on to the football. Obviously, the Premier League has happened again on the weekend. Let me take this down, and a few results. Let's basically what I'll do in this. I'll look at the top 4, see what they do. Man United, obviously, we'll start with Man United. They drew 1-1 with Southampton. Man United are title contenders. They're going to be winning the league, and the etc. We hear a lot of stuff about it. A
little bit larger, bro. Just a little bit. Command and plus. Command and plus.
I wish I could do it.
You should be able to.
I think that's as far as I can go, bro. That's as far as I can go. Hang on. If it goes. Hopefully I can get it up.
Command and applause. That's it, bro. That's it, bro. Because I noticed it's always small. That's it.
Yeah. So basically, as we can see, they drew 1-1 against Southampton. I have watched that game as well. Southampton was in the game. They should have actually scored a couple of goals. The Armstrong was 1-on-1 with De Gea and hit it straight at him. And I said, "What are you doing, man? Just bloody hit on the side of the goalkeeper." And then, they ended up drawing 1-1. What do you guys, Rob, what do you exactly think about Man United? All that money spent and, I know it's only 2 games into the season, but what do you think of them, mate? Because is it a hype around them? Or is this what you're going to get during the season?
It is exactly the hype, mate. Like, they've got individual players. They've got quality individual players. But I just think as a team, they struggle to play the majority of the season together. I think they've got match winners in abundance, but together as a team, they don't gel consistently. Is what I think for the majority of the season. They always, peter out near the end of it, or don't get results which they should get. So yeah, it's frustrating because as a Liverpool fan, I miss those derby days when, it's a hard one because you got United, which under Fergie they were dominant, and then we had our odd seasons where we were in contention. Obviously, won the Champions League, came close under Brendan Rodgers and Benitez, but I just want to see us both up there in our primes. Just having classic matches. That's what I want to see again.
I tell you what, Rob, I want to see them Mother Earth dead and buried. For their boots. There's about time to go in the wilderness. They were relegated in the 70s. They came back up. A lot of their fans don't believe there was a Manchester United prior to 1992. It's about time you learn your history, you so-called Man United fans. But going on to the game, I saw the extended highlights and my trusty source, Fuzzy knows the link. It was it. And what I saw is Man United, a team that looked bereft of ideas in the first half. Lackadaisy, expecting that they can just click it on, turn it on when they're ready. Individual quality, the likes of, Fernandes, Pogba, players like that. And what I saw is Southampton giving it a good goal. They were pressing them. There was one passage of play, I think just before Southampton's goal, and it was secret Barcelona. Secret 2011, it was beautiful play. They got a bit fortunate, obviously, with the deflection. But for me, I know it's only one game, and I said this in the Leeds game. Man United, for me, I cannot see how Manchester United can dethrone 3 quality teams, which are Liverpool, Manchester City, and Chelsea to win the title. If Manchester United are going to win the title, they're going to need a great deal of fortune, and those 3 teams to falter. And when I mean falter, I mean really falter. That is just Manchester United for you all over again. A team that's worth their salt and weight, that are going to challenge for the Premier League title, should dispatch of Southampton. And I don't mean your 9-0s, your 6-0s. Just get the 3 points, get the job done. And if they failed to do that, and they got lucky. No. They're
not ruthless anymore. They got no teeth. You got no teeth to United now.
One.
They ain't got their sabres out, mate. Arr.
No, but I looked at while I was watching the game, guys. It looked like a desperate team at times. You know what I mean? Like there should be. You look at Southampton. They lost Danny Ings and Vestergaard. That's a major part of their team, and they lost those 2 players. And it looks like a depleted. And Bertrand as well. Don't forget he went to Leicester, the left back. He's one of the main. So they lost 3 main players, and then they brought a youth team players through in this game. And then you got this so-called world-class team facing you, but you match them with everything. That's what I don't understand. How can people put Man United in that pedestal, but they fail in games like this where they should win? If you're a title contender, this is the type of games you got to win. You can't you can't draw 1-1 with Southampton. Come on, let's be honest, people.
No.
You look at player for player, you wouldn't even take Southampton's players. So how can you draw 1-1? It doesn't even make any sense. And then
they
you
were
call yourself a
tipped
title
for relegation
contender
as well.
Yeah, a lot of people have them for relegation. They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
But for me, Southampton, you can tell their manager Hustle, they've taken quite a few hidings the previous seasons from teams like Leicester, Man United, 9-0 in both games, you know. And I can tell it's true to the players, look, we're going to have to start with intensity. And you saw that from the highlights I've seen. You know, we know Southampton lack the quality compared to what Manchester United dispose of. But they were matching them for intensity and power. And that's all you can ask for with football, hard work. And you can tell Man United, what I don't like about Man United, they've got this thing where they think it doesn't matter. We're going to turn it on. In the second half, you could see Paul Papa throwing his toys at the pram, stamping his feet on the ground when he was missing chances. Do you know what I mean? And they got fortunate with that equaliser.
But that's the difference. That's the difference between management. You got to look at management, guys.
We got Manchester United. You look. Sorry, Fuzzy.
Yeah.
We got yourself, Richard. I'd like you to get involved in this one. We're talking about your team. Big up to yourself, Richard. Respect, man. As you were, Fuzzy.
Respect, man. Yeah, like I was saying, if you look at Man United, people, they're one of those teams. The difference between Liverpool and Man United is this: like Liverpool is a team as a collective. Manchester United are teams of individuals. That's why they don't connect. They don't connect on the pitch. Like Lazer said, they're throwing things on the floor. They're getting frustrated, but you don't see that. That's the difference between management. You look at Klopp. In pre-season, he puts a happy camp together. We're all like high-fiving each other. We're all enjoying each other's company, like in the training ground, in the pre-season games. But you look at the other side of this pitch, like Man United, they're the kind of team like you have to like play as individuals, get your individuality into the team to win games. And this is why I always say they're not going to be favourites for anything, because their manager is not strong enough to handle things like that. He needs to be like, they need a manager like Klopp, Pep, or Tuchel in order for them to challenge. I can't see what's his name, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer challenging for titles in the near future. Honestly, I can't see that. He's too weak. He's actually weak. He's weak, mate. And I'm happy, man. I'm all for it at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And it's not going to disappoint many Liverpool fans. But like Rob, I know Rob wants us to challenge them one day, like head to head. But I don't want that. They didn't want that in the 90s. They cheated their way to titles. Let's be honest.
It's more that bitter rivalry. I want to beat them when they're playing well, not these like sort of hit and miss teams. I just want those classic derby matches and then beat them then, because that would mean more rather than a sort of like average or good United side when we're at the top. I want it to be both of us at the top, sort of end-to-end stuff, just classic.
I agree too.
I get what you mean, Rob. But a part of me, a big, massive part, wants to see them suffer.
It's funny, mate. It's so funny.
Man. Big up to everybody locked in and locked on to LFC Red Forever. LRFC and the gang. Big up to you, please, guys. If you haven't done so already, you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe. Big up to you.
Let's move on, obviously, to Tottenham's game. Obviously, Harry Kane was on the bench. They won 1-0. Dele Alli scored a penalty. Adama Traore missed another sitter. I don't know if you guys seen this game. They play good football, Wolves. Like there's no difference from obviously the Tottenham manager leaving and all that. But they still play good football, but their clinical side is not very good. I don't know if you watched it, Lazer. They missed a couple of sitters in that game.
This one, Tottenham.
Tottenham and
I just seen like a minute clip. That's all I've seen really on YouTube.
I saw the stats. It's just Wolves dominated by the looks of it.
They dominated, and they're just not clinical. They're not clinical enough. That's the only problem with them. But let's move on from that, because it wasn't an exciting game to watch, but they got their result. Harry Kane was on the bench. He came off the bench. He had a chance. I think he nearly scored, but he hit straight at the goalkeeper as well.
That one,
But looks like
Arsenal. Tottenham. Sorry, just before we move on to the next team, it looks like what I saw when I saw the statistics on that game and going back to the game previously against Man City, which was expected. It looks like Tottenham will be playing with less possession, and that's how Nuno will set them up. I saw the stats, and it was a bit strange seeing Tottenham. What was it, like 30-something% possession? I know they were the away team. Do you know what I'm saying? So you can see, you know, Wolves were unlucky. You know, I think they got Man United next. They should have got something from the Leicester game. They should have frankly got something from Tottenham the other day. So hopefully it will come good, and I'm hoping it's against Man United this weekend.
They got Raul Jimenez back as well. So that'd be good for them. It's good to see him back. You know, I'm glad he recovered from that head injury.
Yeah.
Class
player,
striker.
Man. Yeah. So let's move on to, you know, the big one, Arsenal versus Chelsea. Oh my goodness me, man. I don't know what to say, Lazer. I honestly don't know what to say about Arsenal anymore, because they are in trouble, boys. Arsenal are in deep. You know, like Eddie Murphy used to say, deep trouble, man. Deep trouble. No way back, man. I look at their squad. I look at some of their players on the pitch. I don't even know who they are anymore. You know what I mean? It's so bad. You can't even name some of their players on the pitch. You know what I mean? And if you look at the 2 goals, it was 2 similar goals from the freaking same side. How can you concede? You don't even learn from the first one.
I got it.
Oh, chest. I can't breathe.
I had to.
You couldn't help it, could you? You couldn't help it.
Before I lay into Arsenal, right, I'm going to let Rob take it away, right? I want you to give your assessment and what the hell is going on with Arsenal Football Club. Take it away, Rob.
The arrogant people.
Oh, mate, it's been a sinking ship for seasons, and why bring in an inexperienced manager? You know what they had before, and it's like he was set up like we discussed before with Frank Lampard. It's similar to that, isn't it? He's just come in. It's like, okay, an ex-legend for the club, fair enough, but we need more. This is Arsenal. This is supposed to be more like Liverpool. This is more. All the fans demand more. It's shocking, really. It's a circus.
Yeah,
it's a circus, mate.
It's really bad. It is really bad.
We all know they couldn't defend like for seasons. Even under Wenger, they were sloppy at the back, but they always had class players. And now you look at their squad, like you said, Fozzie, and you just you can't pick out like quality, can you? Yeah. Like even Aubameyang, Lacazette.
Can you name any of the players that started the other day? Can anyone name the players?
I can't. I couldn't name their first 11. I could struggle. Like, what of their players will get into the top 4 teams at the moment? Apart from, let's say, Man United. Let's talk about City, Chelsea, Liverpool. Who will get into their team? You know, they've made so many costly errors. For me, Martinez that went to Villa, in my opinion, it was better than Leno. I don't know why. And then the ball, I seen something the other day. And part of me as a wind-up wants it to be true. I was meant to get this for you today, Fuzzy. They've got Ramsdale, right, from Bournemouth. Now, when he was at Bournemouth, he got relegated with them, right? Who did he go to last year? Who was it last year, guys?
Sheffield United.
Sheffield United. He got relegated with them. Is it going to happen this time with Arsenal?
Worse.
19th in the table with 4 goals conceded, no goals scored, and 0 points. And for me, it's just desserts because you didn't give the previous manager time. Emery had time to build a foundation. If you look back at what he's done, he didn't really do nothing wrong. Yes, he came from a different style. You know, he was used to the continental way of playing, you know, the rigors of the Spanish league, etc. The Premier League is completely different. And I thought from the get-go, they were on his back. They didn't want to give him no time to settle.
Didn't he win a trophy? He won a trophy, the FA Cup with them as well, didn't he?
No,
it was Arteta. It was Arteta.
Arteta, Oh, okay. But his squad though.
It was his squad. And they've done well with them, Rob. And that's the thing. Now, if you look at Arsenal, they've gone backwards. Like, we just rewind the videotape. Gone completely backwards. Like, it looks scary and it looks shocking to see Arsenal like this. Like, when I look at Arsenal, I saw the extended highlights and I thought, wow, time and time again on that right side, it was just open. I don't know if you guys have seen the memory that's floating around doing the rounds where there's a Japanese team and there's two main Japanese players playing a kid of they're playing like I think 16 or so little kids, and basically they was replicating. That's what they done. Chelsea done to Arsenal. That side, Reece James was afforded time and time again all the space in the world. I've never seen a team play like that in a long time. Even though we know Arsenal's not a quality team, you've got to sell more pragmatic and tighter. Keep it tight. You know what I mean? And you could tell Chelsea were just going through the motions. To me, if that was Man City, I'd dread to see what is going to happen this Saturday. Even if we played them, that would have been a hiding. You know, and I really feel for Arteta, guys. I really feel for Arsenal. I think they're going to be in a real bad way this few next couple of months. Honestly,
it's bad. It's really bad. It's really bad. We're gonna. By the way, people, we're gonna go on UFT on Friday and try to bring on like a couple of Arsenal fans to talk about Arsenal as well. So please, on Friday at 9 p.m, please join us in UFT as well, and we'll try to deliver some more, contents and some more guests as well. Yeah, with me, Arsenal are just in trouble, guys. I swear to you. Listen, when we were struggling, they used to gloat like we're a smaller club than them. Now it's the other way around, but we don't need to gloat. We don't. You know what they say about Liverpool? We don't want Liverpool to win the league. Liverpool is the ones who, will never get ahead at the end of it. We won the league recently, and has anyone heard from us? No, but we don't say things like that. You know what I mean? We don't care. We just concentrate on ourselves. But Arsenal, it's over, man. He's gonna be the first one sacked. I'm sorry to say it to Arsenal fans. He's gonna be the first one sacked this season. He's gone. He's a goner. I
think so as well, 100%. Man. I do. I really think so as well, man.
There's no way
when you look at it as well, what were they thinking even taking him on? Do you know what I mean? He's had no experience. He hasn't even cut his teeth, plied his trade in, let's say, a level below in the Championship or abroad. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It was very, very naive and silly to think just because he sat down on a bench alongside Pep Guardiola, he's going to magically, take Arsenal back to the greater heights. That is beyond stupidity. I'm sorry to say, it is really stupid. Very, very poor management. Rob, you've disappeared, Rob. You're back with us, Rob. Your microphone. We'll let him know in the private chat.
Yeah, definitely. I think he knows, bro. Rob, can you hear us? Can you hear us, Rob? Yeah, I can hear you, mate. Yeah, your phone is a bit low, mate. We can't hear you. You have to put it up a bit. Yeah, so Laser, we're going to be moving on, obviously, to Man City. 5-0 win again. We already predicted the score beforehand. I already said it's going to be probably 5-0, 4-0, 4-1, whatever. And it's always going to be the same result. I looked at their players, bro. I really looked at their players, and I looked at their starting lineup. I wasn't really too frightened of that, man. I wasn't really. They had Fran Torres as a striker.
I know.
And they had Grealish on the left. And I think was it Jesus on the right. So I looked at the starting lineup and I said, "This is what we're." You move on from Yaya Toure, David Silva, etc., to this, really? And then you're telling us we should be scared of you? Your favourites for the Champions League, your favourites for the Premier League, and then you put out like I can't name many world-class players they got. Honestly, I can't. If you look at them now, how many of them can you call world-class, Laser? Please explain that to me. How many of those players?
I'm being honest, man. Not many. A lot of the time, they've sort of got the tag. What Man United had, a lot of teams, especially the smaller teams, and I said this at the start of the season, Man City will pick up the big bulk of their points from the cannon fodder below in the table. Norwich City were already beaten. They were dead and buried. You seen it straight away. It was almost like they just threw the towel in and they said, do what you want to us. Do what you want to us, you know what I mean? They were playing like slags. No, it's City. It's like
I think they'd be rock bottom. They'd be rock bottom.
They're gone. They're gone.
Relegated.
There's
Man.
No
they got no sense, no common sense. They come back. They keep yo-yoing. Boing. Yo-yoers. Yeah. Come back. At least change it up. Be more pragmatic. If you have to play ugly football like the likes of Burnley are doing, so be it. Get some stability and stay in the Premier League. But for some reason, they want to take an ass kicking. Then they want to go back down into the Championship and win games and then repeat the cycle all over again. I do not understand it. It's ridiculous.
It's
ridiculous,
guys. Pookie deserves more. He's a class player. He should at least.
Rob, what do you actually think about the City team, mate? Because I looked at, like I said in the beginning, like I looked at the starting lineup. Sorry about the language. I wasn't too impressed, mate. Like they're favourites for everything as always. But if you're going from like David Silva, from this Aguero, Yaya Toure, and all these players, and then you end up with Jesus, Grealish, and Ferran Torres as your strike force, how can that be a threat for the rest of us? I don't get it. I honestly don't get why they're favourites for anything with that lineup, mate, compared to the yesterday players.
Well, proof's going to be in the pudding, isn't it? Like the course of the season won't lie. You look at it come January after the busy Christmas period, and then when players start to go away. I know we're battling a couple of our star players, especially Salah. But yeah, like I think our depth of our squad. This isn't me being biased, but I think it's stronger than City's. I really do. Even with
are you talking about like the bench and the starting lineup, or just this? Yeah.
I just think inside and out, mate. Like just all the way through. And I like Grealish as a player, but come on, he was coming on for a few minutes at the end of games in the last tournament in the Euros.
Exactly.
And there was a big hype. All it was the morale that made him big. I mean, he was at Villa and he was a star player there. I mean, Villa, no disrespect to them, they, good to
big
average
fish in a
side.
small pond.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But now, 100 million for him? Really?
Nah, crazy. You know what I think it is? The case of it is, I think when you look at Manchester City, did they really need Grealish? Simple answer is no. I think it was more a marketing thing. I think they need a player. They've looked at Grealish over the Euros, his time at Villa, the way he has his hairstyle, the kids love him. They all got the shirts. A lot of the Manchester City youth have already bought the shirts and stuff. So I think it's a case where they want to model their own version of David Beckham. When you think about it, you take away a lot of Manchester City players that haven't got someone with commercial, that commercial appeal, and Grealish can provide that for them. Do you know what I mean? Like a homegrown as well. And I think it was more of a case, let's get someone like that in. Because when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, I'm sorry to say, he's a good player, but 100 million or 80 million? No. That's just ridiculous. And this is what Manchester City are doing. We'll save this for another day. They're ruining football. It's as simple as that.
They are.
I'm just going to tell you how it is.
No, you're honest, man. You're honest, man.
Yeah. But it's not their fault. It's not their fault, though, is it? Like there should be laws on it. There should be the FA should clamp it down.
Yeah.
What was it? It's not fair on the lower teams, mid-table to
100%
lower side of the table. They're just
some teams go bankrupt because they want to compete with teams like that. You know what I mean? And it's bad. It's bad for the game. And not only that, our league. I'm saying our league because we're from here. Our league should not stand for things like this. You know what I mean? We're a competitive league. We love our league the way it is. You know what I mean? If we're bringing in like teams like this with money and just ruin the game for the sake of like for themselves, like what I grew up on like in this country from the 80s till now is we're all together. But now it looks like we're all scattering everywhere else, and everybody's looking after themselves, which is why this league is going to be probably ending up like Spanish league, Italian league. People lose interest because you already can prejudge who's going to win the league. That's how bad it's going to get. You know what I mean? We already gonna you start the season. Oh, Man City's gonna win. Forget about it. What's the point going to this game? We already know who's gonna win the league. It's gonna become like that, and it shouldn't be like that. People need to stand up for our football here. It's not always about Brexit. What about the freaking football? You know what I mean? Where it used to be competitive. We used to like enjoy teams beating each other, like small teams beating big teams. Now it's like. I told Lazer, Rob, I already said it was going to be 5-0 before the game even started, a day before. You know what I mean? That's how I predicted this game.
Good odds on that, Foz.
Yeah, mate. I should be doing it regular, mate.
Should have backed it, guys.
We got to Turf Moor House TV. Commiserations on a defeat on Saturday, Dan. But he says, sorry, I couldn't come on tonight, guys. I won't hide behind a defeat. You sure not? You sure? But I'm feeling
the man,
ill.
Mate.
Anyway, I hope you get better. 30 tomorrow, the big 3-0. Happy birthday to you. Love life, guys. You deserve to on Saturday. We play like we did and we'll be fine. Yeah, you gave it a good account to yourself, your team did. What I saw, gave a good account. And they were actually pressing early on. You could tell they were trying to catch Liverpool cold. I saw all of the first half. And I was impressed with what Burnley were doing. But you could see, without taking anything away, Liverpool are conserving their energy for the long haul, and especially the team that they're going to play next week, Chelsea. There was no need for Liverpool to be intense. I tell you who stood out for me at the back, Joe Matip. Oh my God.
My man of the match. My man of the match.
Absolute warrior. Oh,
we'll come to that. We'll come to that, bro. We'll come to that. Don't worry.
Must love it.
Yeah, of course it does. So, guys, Big Shaq is gone. Hang on, guys. Big.
Sorry, Fuzz. Dual control.
I'm sure you guys are aware now that Big Shaq is gone. He's gone to Lyon for 9.5 million. I'm gonna miss him because he gave me a lot of joy, especially that Champions League win, the 4-0 win, and the Man United game when he came off the bench and scored 2 goals against them as well. So I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss him for those kind of stuff.
Remember his half when he beat Fulham?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Of course. Yes. And he scored. Yeah. And he curled it in the bottom corner. Yeah. Listen, the guy. Listen, he never complained when he was on the bench. Listen, Shaqiri before Stoke and all that stuff, he was one of the talked about players in world football. Don't forget that, people. And he's at Bayern Munich and playing for Switzerland. He took a step down to Stoke just to prove to people he could actually hang with the Premier League teams, and he did prove himself at Stoke. Came to Liverpool, didn't break through. Yes, he's on and off. He got injured a lot, but when we needed him the most, he did step through. So we've got to give him that. So Rob, what's your basically likes and dislikes about the guy, man? Come on, share it with us, bro, because you know him.
How can you dislike the guy? He's just always had a smile. Even training, you could see him there having fun, just pure banter. He's moments of brilliance, and like you said, when we needed to have a player to come on, fill in, when we didn't have much on the bench. And then you looked at Shaqiri and like, he could do something here, and he came on, provided. You can't knock the guy. But for that front three, he was always going to be a bit part sort of player. He's never going to get ahead of them unless they got injured. But I mean, Origi, like Shaqiri was always that class on the bench where I was like, right, he could do something. And without him, we wouldn't have really had any game changers.
Yeah, he reminds me. He reminds me of when Owen went to Real Madrid and he had to compete with Raul and Ronaldo, the original Ronaldo. That's what it reminds me, because Shaqiri has his own qualities, but it's just when you're competing with Salah, Mane, and Firmino, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a tall task. It's gonna be a tall task. The same goes for you, Lazer, mate. So what did you think of him, man? Like, what's your likes and dislikes, mate?
I loved him, when he played against Man United, that game when he came on, you know what I mean? That was big shock, Mr. Cars. But you know what? His time at Liverpool, we remembered for a couple of games, the odd game here and there, that game and the Champions League semi-final, he was instrumental in that game. The assist he gave to Ronaldo for the 3rd goal. But when you look at his time on the whole, we can't really complain. The fee that we paid for him was pittance, it was pennies. But he was
about 13 million,
and the only thing I would say, when he was given a chance in some games, he didn't really show what he was made of. To me, Shaqiri is a class player. When you see him play for his international country, when he plays for Switzerland, he's amazing. He's the main man. But I think it's a case, when he was at Liverpool, he knows the players are better than him. A lot of players are better than him, so he ain't going to dispatch them. I didn't see it as a case when he came into the squad. I'm good enough to this place like Salah, Mane. You could tell it was almost like, I'm going to be bit part. Do you know what I mean? Just do the job when required. But a lot of the time he was injured. I remember when he came, I think we played Everton and we smashed them. I think it was like 5-2 when we went on to win the title. And he scored in that game. That was a lovely goal as well. Do you remember? And it was out for months prior to that. But apart from that, especially last season, it was really nowhere to be seen. And In a way, I'm going to miss him, but it's time for both parties to move on now, and I wish him the best. You know, the new
good time. Good time.
Yeah.
What is he, 29?
28, 29.
Yeah, so he's still got a good
30,
few years. Yeah, good luck to him.
It's a shame, is it? Yeah. Sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, go for it, bro.
Yeah, so we don't move behind. So what we got? Football Sanctuary. He's saying the FA should put a wage cap on players. You want to do the next one first?
I'm doing something. Hang on. Is it Turf Moore? Yeah. Turf Moore. Yeah. Turf Moore says, shout out to Matip. The man's a beast. The way he says it is a beast. It's a beast.
Beast from the east.
And you rap.
Beast from the east.
The beast from the east. Bam, bam, Bigelow.
Who remembers Earthquake? Remember, we used to jump up and down.
Earthquake and typhoon. The naturalist used to sit on a man's face. Classic wrestling days, man. Right, so what's Casper now? Mr. Casper, MUFC. So, did I hear United? You damn right you heard United. Get out there, just gone. You got yourself though for stopping by. Guys as well, don't forget our new platform, you know, UFT. Check it out. is fell into the hands of Jurgen Klopp. Thank you, Chelsea, for throwing him away and giving him to us.
Along with De Bruyne, Lukaku, Hazard.
Rob, what do you think of him, mate? Like, as a player, obviously, as a human being, and as a Liverpool, what is he like? Going to be considered the best Premier League player? I know you guys love Gerrard, but for what he's done, basically winning the Premier League, the Champions League, and World Club Cup and the Super Cup as well. And I'm hoping there's going to be more trophies he's going to win as well. But what do you think of him as a player? Where do you rate him, basically, mate? And are you happy with the new contract?
Oh, of course. Every Liverpool fan, be buzzing. But more than anything, the last 2 previous seasons, his bust up with Mane and the way he played, he never had a smile on his face, did he? The last couple of seasons, it was always like proper serious. But this season, how good is it to see that smile back? He's loving football. He's got that big beaming smile. Yeah. It's good to see.
Rob. But one thing for me, I agree with what you said there. There was a period when you thought, oh my God, it doesn't look happy here. And I know Liverpool went for a very rough patch, losing games left, right and centre. But one thing that sealed it for me, when he scored that goal against Manchester United, we smashed them at Old Trafford, I seen how much it meant to him. That was no ordinary celebration there. That was passion, joy, elation. He cares about Liverpool getting them back into the Champions League. He loves the club. He went for a bad patch. And you got to remember, football players are not just football players, they're human beings. They have a family, they have a wife, they have kids. Things beside football, we don't know what happens in their personal lives. A lot of these players keep things quiet. Some things might get leaked. I think he's a tremendous player, one of the best. If he carries on what he's doing, he will become one of Liverpool's greatest players. 2 goals away from 100. He'll be there. And I'm hoping he does it against Chelsea on Saturday. Sorry to get that in there, Rob, man.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Quality. Who's it? But he has that arrogance as well, that controlled arrogance that Ronaldo, those sort of players has. He's got that. He just wants to score, and then help his team out. He's just clinical. He's just oozing it. But I think Klopp's a big part in that as well. What he's done to him confidence-wise.
Of course.
Like when he was at Roma, when he was he hit form there, but I mean that was Serie A, so bit different. But and then obviously all the controversy he had to deal with in Chelsea, basically not being played in the right positions, being tossed out like that, and then just to be like, no, I'm going to show him what I'm worth. And he's
Chelsea's got a habit of doing that to players. Chelsea's got a habit of doing that to players. You look at what they done to Lukaku. Obviously, he was young at the time, but for example, I don't think Tammy Abraham was given a fair crack of the whip. And it won't surprise me in years to come. Let's say he has a storm out of a season in Roma. Let's say
he played well. He played well yesterday. He played well yesterday. He set up 2 goals. He set up 2 goals, and he hit the crossbar as well.
And then it wouldn't surprise me if they won him back. That's how Chelsea operate. And it's just what they do. They've done it with Kevin De Bruyne. And they must be kicking themselves.
From my point of view with Salah, guys, I obviously have to give my side of things. Obviously, I had some issues with him because, he's sometimes I used to say he's selfish. But the more you look into it, the more you understand why he's selfish. He just wants to be the top scorer of the Premier League. That's what he wants to do. His goal, when he scores goals, is he wants to, win the game for Liverpool. I had to see it from different directions as well. Because I criticize him a lot. Sometimes I said he's selfish. He doesn't pass the ball to players, but it's out of passion. You know what I mean? Some players just want to win games for the club, and they want to win games to win trophies. That's what I need to understand. And with these players these players are phenomenal, man. To me, can I be honest with you guys? To me, these players are the most underrated Liverpool players I've ever seen, because I don't think no seriously Rob, I don't think they are appreciated. I don't think they are appreciated the way they're supposed to be appreciated. They should be lauded, man, for what they've done. Where they come from.
If they were playing for City, they would be. It's just playing for Liverpool, mate. For some reason, people hate us.
Yeah.
Like, you know, other fans, the media, everything like that. Everything's like, oh, Liverpool are top again, rather than, oh, yeah, City are top again. Yeah. It's just something that we have to deal with. I think if they were playing for Real Madrid, Barcelona, Chelsea, Man City, those sort of teams, they'd be raving. They'd be like, oh, yeah, same as Messi. They'd be saying, oh, he's the same sort of level as Messi. That's
you see, the thing is, though, it's not what you guys are saying about our rival fans, you know, and pundits of alike. It's actually some of our own fan base. I heard a lot of horrible stuff directed, you know, towards Mane last season. Let's be honest, he didn't have the best season. You know what he's capable of. You can tell.
We're coming. Don't worry, we're coming. We're coming. We're coming.
We're coming. Let's get some quick commenters in the football sanctuary. Mikel Antonio has just become West Ham United's top Premier League goal scorer. And Fuzzy, have we got a full-time result in that game? That match should be over now.
Over. It's 4-1 West Ham. Leicester are getting battered. They're getting battered by West Ham.
Didn't they get a man sent up?
It's over. It's over. It's over.
Jeez, is that how it's going on? Woo-hoo-hoo.
Yeah, man.
We got to TJ. Hope you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. LFC Red Forever. Mo Salah is an absolute legend of a Liverpool FC player. He has a better record than Ronaldo in the English Premier League. He deserved at least 300k per week wages. Big up to yourself, TJ. Thank you for getting active, everybody in the chat.
Up, dude.
Yes, guys. So you know.
Go on, let's go, bro.
No, I was just gonna squeeze in a quick promo before we head on to the next topic. Because you know how we do. Let's talk LFC. Yes, guys, let's talk LFC. Yours are truly Fuzzy, Laser, and Rob. LFC Forever. So the next topic
is
Mane. So Fuzzy,
it's gonna be, of course,
want to take it away.
Yes. Let's do this, man. Let's do this. Yes, people. We're gonna be talking about Mane now. Obviously, Mane. If it wasn't for Mane, we wouldn't win the Premier League a couple of seasons ago. He was on fire. And not a lot of people appreciate him either, so don't forget that. This debate about him like not being on form, a lot of Liverpool fans are basically right now, even that he scored a goal against Burnley in the weekend, are still basically saying he's not playing as he normally does. Okay, you don't play like fast, full throttle football. I understand, but it's only 2 games into the season. You have to, like, if you're on the track, if you're running and you're running on the track, it takes you time to get to, you know, the final destination. Yeah, mate. So, Laser, what do you think of Mane, mate? Everybody criticized him for last season. He even criticized himself for last season, the way he performed. So, what do you take out of this when people are criticizing this poor guy? And they want him out. Some of them want him out.
Ever since Mane's come to Liverpool, you look at his seasons when he's come. As a whole as well, Liverpool used to play high-intensity football. If you look at us, the way we play, we're not doing that no more. And I think some of it is personnel, right? You can't keep going full throttle. And I think Klopp, I think we will see the return of that in the second half of the season. Jurgen Klopp is a very astute, very smart manager. He knows what he's doing. There's no reason to go full throttle in the first couple of games. You know, we've done what we needed to do against Norwich and Burnley, but Mane is a fantastic athlete and player. He's still got what's required at the highest level. Yes, he had an off-season. A player does from time to time, but as Fuzzy alluded to, the Premier League and the Champions League wouldn't have been won without him in the team. You know, our front three as well as a unit was phenomenal. The telepathy between those guys, the understanding and reading. Yes, there was a bit of selfishness, but I think that episode between him and Salah, Burnley away last season, or season before now. Whoa, season 2 years ago already. Whoa.
The season we won the league. The season we won the league.
2 years ago, 2019. I think a lot was made out of that, and you can tell at the time the media, the rival fans were looking at any excuse to, you know, mess up Liverpool's momentum and bury us. Anything. If it was, let's say, for example, any other team, let's say it was West Ham and Antonio didn't pass to Fornals or something, do you think they would have made a big deal of that? No. If it was Man United, do you think they would have made a big deal? No, but Liverpool, let's try and put a dagger, let's spoil him. But for me, go back onto Mane. He's a fantastic player, and you will see the best of him this season. He's had an extended rest. You know, remember, he never played in any tournaments over the summer. Rarely played the preseason. He looks fresh and ready to go, and you can see he's adapted his game and he's coming a lot deeper. He's not bursting at full pace on the left-hand side. I've noticed it in his play, and he's getting in the right positions. He could have scored another goal on Saturday, and that goal is just typical classic Mane. As soon as the play happened, Van Dijk to Elliot LAZER after Trent. The moment Trent touched that, I knew
what a goal! What a goal!
LAZER, do you think in the modern football there's no patience anymore? Even with Liverpool fans, even they say we're the most educated fans in world football. We've been getting that label for years and years. Do you think like we're just not patient enough anymore? I know I get frustrated now and again, but it's 30 years of watching the football. Yeah,
Rob's just said it. It's life in general. The way how society has gone, the way how things change now. Nobody is patient. You know, you see people in relationships, people in jobs, football players want to jump ship. There's no loyalty. There's no patience. Things are just now. You've got to deliver the goods. Go back to managers, for example, of yesteryear. You were given time. Yeah. Nowadays, 3-4 games. Oh, my God, it's the worst thing since this, that, and that. We heard it from our own fan base. Mane had a bad run of games for probably a month. Let's get rid of him. You know, let's go for Mbappe, such and such. Forgetting what he's done in the past 5 seasons. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, bro. Quick to forget, mate.
And a lot of this comes from the modern day young generation of fans. I don't hear this stuff from, you know, the older fans, you know, more mature, people that understand football, know where we came from. Do you know what I'm saying? Exactly. And I hear it a lot of times from kids who go in the comment sections and they're like, Klopp out. Let's get rid of him. Let's get Mbappe's crap. As soon as we heard Thiago was coming, it was like, let's boot out Ronaldo. And it's like, come on, man. Have some respect, man, for our players. You know what I'm saying? So
no respect. There's no respect, mate.
No patience.
So Rob, same goes for you about Mane, mate. Like, how do you rate him, and what do you think of these people that's like putting him down and saying he's past his best and all that stuff? But forgetting, you know, let me put it this way, people. Like, if you look at Liverpool Football Club and Man City and Chelsea, we don't have the riches of these clubs. We can't do nothing about. We can't do anything. We don't have those owners. We can't. You know what I mean? We can't go through a wall and expect a lot of cash coming through it. It's not gonna happen. It's just dead it there. Just get rid of that bit, because I'll tell you why. These players in the last 4 seasons, they played African Nation, Premier League, Champions League, World Cup, and Super Cup, World Championship. All these games without having a goddamn rest, and people are actually giving them bollocking for that, and they're telling me like, because one bad season you just say, oh, they're crap, they shouldn't play for Liverpool Football Club anymore. One bad season. What about the 4 seasons before that, when they gave you everything? You forgot about that bit, didn't you? I mean, so Rob, what do you think, mate? Like, how do you take it with Mane, the way they treat him, mate? Like, there's a lot of fans, mate. I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of fans. They're saying, I'm not convinced with Mane anymore. It's time to go.
Well, first of all, mate, he's got some great teeth. I wonder if Klopp, Firmino and Mane are we sponsored by a whitening company or something, like for teeth whitener? Because they got some bloody good teeth.
No, they have, mate. I gotta be real.
But yeah, on a serious note, mate, yeah, it's just shocking, mate. Like, you know, as LAZER said there, there's just no patience, just in all walks of life. So it's just like, why don't the younger generation just learn from their experienced elders and just be like, look, you know, it used to be managers that would get at least 2 seasons to try and sort a team out, and now it's just like five matches sometimes for some of them.
That's it.
I mean, I think Bielsa, I know he left on his own accord, but I think is it in the Italian league?
The ball. It happened to front the ball in Palace as well.
He went into a team and he just he didn't even play 1 game, then he walked out.
He didn't even play.
And I thought, bloody hell. But like, you know, sort of getting sacked, managers getting sacked. It's like you hear about 5-10 matches, and it's like, it's just, you don't want to see it. Like being a football fan as well as a Liverpool fan, you don't want to see that in any club. They're human beings.
Big up, John. Man. Big up, John.
Respect, John.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Rob, man. I mean, we need to like calm down. And sometimes I get frustrated, but sometimes you need to understand that older fans like us, we suffered for so long. It's just that frustration still plays in your mind. You know what I mean? But you regret it afterwards, and you apologize for it. That's what we do.
You know what the saying is? You don't know how good you have it until it's gone.
Yeah. Just like a relationship, isn't it?
Be careful what you wish for, man. Because we got a good thing going. You know, I seen a stat with our 3 players lined up against each other. So we got Mane. We got Salah. None of these players cost above 40 million, in the region of 30s, right? And they're cheaper than buying like an Mbappe or a player like Grealish, for example. These are well-cost players. I don't know if it's a thing because it's Liverpool and it's a psychological thing where what we paid for them. But if you look about what they've done, what Salah has done since he's come to Liverpool, Mane, how he's improved. Even Firmino, we know he has his moments when he doesn't score enough, but he's had a good couple of seasons. The Champions League in the season before that. You know what I mean? We've got a good team there, man. Fabinho, Trent, we're going to go on to him afterwards. Robbo, our keeper, Alisson. Liverpool have got a exactly. Joe Matip is good on his day as well. He's one of the best defenders in the world. For me, that's the best central partnership in the Premier League. I don't want to hear people say,
so good on the ball. So good on the ball.
It's them two. You know,
underrated, mate. Underrated.
Absolutely, bro.
Yes, Laser, shall we do the next thing as well? You could put the actual music again.
So what we're moving to now?
We're going to move to Kostas Tsimikas, yes, bro.
Okay, so Kostas Tsimikas, let's talk.
Yes, people.
LFC, and that's what we're doing. Let's talk about LFC with Lazer, Busty, and one and only Rob on a Monday night, 5 minutes past 10. So yes, people, Liverpool people, is Kostas Tsimikas the real deal? Fuzzy, I'm gonna let you start this one. You tell me. You've seen him play as well in pre-season. Live and direct.
Yes, so live and direct. Okay, people. Kostas Tsimikas came to us last season, and everybody was asking a question: why hasn't he played for Liverpool? There's a reason why he hasn't played for Liverpool, because he comes from a different league, the Greek league. And what does Klopp do? He puts him on the bench, makes him like look at the team the way we play. Sometimes it takes players a year to understand how we play. And in order for you to be hungry and, want to fight for your place, you need to watch the team from the sideline, which Kostas Tsimikas has done. This season, to me, he's blown everything out of the water. I'll tell you why. You look at Robertson. Robertson is up and down that left-back position. Going up and down, crossing the ball in, up and down defence. Not many gets past him. Not many people get past him. What did Kostas Tsimikas do? He looked at Robertson. Yes, I can't do this. Yes, I can't do that. He brought his own game to the team, which is a different way how Robertson plays. He puts more crosses in the box. He even dribbles past defenders to even get the cross in, which Robertson doesn't do. So that's why I admire him for the most. He didn't copy what Robertson does. He done his own way in order for him to get in the team. A lot of people are saying he shouldn't be in the team against Chelsea. Bring Robertson back. Why? But why? 2 games, 2 clean sheets, 4 goals. And he set up one of the goals. So why does he have to come off? Everybody has to fight for their position. That's what football is all about. That's what we want our club to be as well. We've got the squad like Rob said. I mean, our squad is underrated. We've got some quality players. They just have to be on form on a regular basis. They have to look past the injuries and then put their perspective into the games, if you know what I mean. But yeah, Lazer, what do you think of him, mate? Like, is he the real deal? Are you impressed by him? The way he was like patient as well. He didn't actually throw a tantrum and say, get me out of here, take me back to Greece. You know what I mean? He stayed. And he don't forget, he was there throughout the pandemic. No family, no friends. And that's got to be very hard on him, man. He was on his own. He was on his own.
He got coronavirus at the start
he had a bad bout. He had a bad bout. But Tsimikas, is it a real deal? It's hard to say. What I've seen of him so far, he looks very good. You know, he's got the energy. We know he's not in the mode of Robinson. He can get about up and down that pitch. And what I noticed he's got good about him is his pressing ability, his desire to retrieve the ball when he loses it. We've seen what James Milner done to him the other day, gave him a bollocking, and he took it on the chin as a man. You know, many players could have had a strap about that. You know, their confidence could have taken a hit. You know, I've seen James Milner do that to him before in one of the League Cup games last season. Yes, you remember. You know, and it's gone about.
Probably done it to a lot of players.
Yeah, but some players let that affect them. You know, their heads will drop, they'll sulk. You know, probably have words behind the scenes. But with Tsimikas, he's got a good delivery, a good whip on him, and I think he's a great understudy to Robinson. I think it should be a case where we can rotate them when required. So we're gonna have the Champions League, certain Premier League games, because let's be honest, Robinson is a very, very fantastic left back. One of the best in the world for me. I'm sure if you cut that man open, you're going to find Duracell Energizer batteries stuffed inside his inside. Because how he gets up and down that flank is beyond me for 90 minutes. He proved his salt, you know, what he was made of when we played Man City 4 years ago now. You remember? It was about Anfield, and he was charging like a man possessed. And since that day, Klopp said he's got what it takes. He's got the minerals. But Tsimikas, I still think he's got a lot to prove. We're going to see him in some of the bigger games, see how he, you know, gets his head down and, you know, reacts to, let's say, a bad tackle or a sending off, or when he comes up against a tough opposing player. And let's see how he deals with it. But in the moment, what I've seen of him, I'm very impressed with him. Gets on about his job, and you know, I like what I see of him, and I think he's a player that can take us far. You know, at least now we've got two good left backs, and it's still got a long way.
Lazer, do you think like with Robertson almost like playing every game in the last 3-4 seasons, like he should this season get a lot of rest? Like he deserves a rest.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And this is what I'm saying. It should be a thing now. Football's a squad game. Yes, we know Robertson's number one, but I think he should reduce his games to probably -10. You know, playing 38 games in the Premier League, that's a bit too much at that intensity as well. And then throwing Champions League games in there. You can see that he was knackered at the end of last season. Whether some of that was his mind was on the coming Euros for his country, Scotland. But I think it's a case now. Klopp, as you said, gave Tsimikas a chance to prove himself, made him wait and be patient. We know how Klopp works. He doesn't just throw players into the fray straight away. He's doing that currently with Konate. He done Fab had to wait. Robinson had to wait. They all had to wait. Unless you're the big players like Virgil van Dijk, you know. So obviously he had his illness as well. But I think what we've seen of him is proving that he can get the job done. I haven't really seen any faults. He loses the ball. He hunts it back down. He's got a good cross on him as well. You know, he's got desire, hunger, commitment, and that's all we can ask for. And I like him.
Thank you,
I really do like him.
Thank you, man. So, cheers, Rob, what do you think of Tsimikas, mate? Like, do you rate him? Do you think like he's going to be a good understudy for obviously Robertson? Is he worth like to stay in the team as well right now and just leave Robertson to rest?
Well, I think it's early days, of course, and I know what you said. I saw glimmers of him in pre-season, and he looked very good. But you can't really judge too much off pre-season. I mean, he's had one good game. That previous game, the first game, he just looked a bit... Yeah, just his positioning was a bit dodgy at times. But, I mean... Fair play to him. That's his first game, so you know, just a bit of nerves probably. But this one, against Burnley was just he looked class. But I mean, I think when he plays more against the top sides, I think that's when we could be like, okay, you know, he's got this. But I think I don't know what it is, but he reminds me a bit of John Arisa. Like it just in his playing style.
I was thinking that, you know.
Yeah, he's got a good shot.
But not as much aggression though. I think John Arisa had much more aggression than him. That's what I used to love about him, man. I really loved him. He was in my best 11.
And that shot he had, wow.
Bullet of a shot.
I guess Man United. I guess Man United, that free kick. I guess Bartes. You know what I mean?
That took his face off.
100%. You know, like with Liverpool guys, I got to be real with you. When I was growing up, obviously back in the 80s, when I was a kid, they used to do this. It's not a Klopp thing. What's happening at Liverpool when they buy players? You know, like what they used to do is they used to buy when players were aging. Our like senior players were aging. We used to buy players and put them in the reserves. They always used to say there's only 2 teams in Liverpool: Liverpool first team and Liverpool reserves. I don't know if anyone remembers that. Yeah,
of course,
so
man.
that's what we used to do.
Outside my window, I would draw the curtains.
Yeah, so that's what you got to look at, people. That's what we're going back to. It's a Liverpool way. It's not a Klopp way. He's probably studied the Liverpool way, and probably the senior people at the club have told him what we used to do, and he's going back to that. You know, like Liverpool lost its way when we tried to change our way. We always used to be like consistently doing things different from people. We was way ahead of our time. We was way ahead. Yeah, we was way ahead of our time. Keep it in-house, don't trust the outside, and then we could get success on a regular basis. As soon as we stepped away from that, when as soon as got rid of the old brute room, tried to buy Julian. Yeah, you got Julian Dix and all these players. That's when we started and it wasn't just our identity was gone. It's similar to Arsenal now. Yeah. Arsenal was only good in one way: hard men, strong men, leadership.
It nearly happened again under Hudson. If you remember, we were starting to get it back slowly under Benitez. Julia was trying to implement that continental style. Football was changing. We were getting a little bit of the identity back. But then when the Hicks and Gillette saga was going on, all the politics around it, we lost our way completely. When Hudson came, it was like, what's going on? Do you know what I mean? So we're getting it back now, and I hope when Klopp is ready to step down, can we maintain it? We have the right man in place, because that is the other thing that's ruining a lot of our fan base.
That's one thing we've got to do, Lazer. We've got to get back to being smart. You know what I mean? That we was way ahead of our time. This football club that's why they had to create a new league for Man United. That's why the Premier League came. It wasn't made for Liverpool. It's because Liverpool was battering everyone in the old one. They only had 7 titles, people. They only had 7 titles. We had 18.
18 to 7.
Yeah.
Fozzie,
go on, Rob.
Remember the times that we lost our way? It was after Hillsborough. Yeah. Kenny Dalglish was just like, he just had so much regret, responsibility. His soul just was drained from him. And then obviously Souness, like you said, came in.
But Rob, let me ask you a question.
And then Gillette and Hicks, those two.
Let me ask you both a question, yeah, and be honest with me here. If Kenny stayed and he didn't leave, would Fergie exist?
It's a tough one, For me, right, I'll mention a bit of it. This is more for you two, because that's your era. I know of it from research and just in bits and bobs. For me, I always look at that Hillsborough was the turning point. It really damaged a lot of people in Liverpool, And Kenny Dalglish had the burden of it. He took on a lot. You got to remember, he went to so many funerals.
All 96, bro.
Exactly, all 96. So when you think about it, it would be like in a workplace. How could a human expect you to do that and carry on with their job? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we stepped down in 91. Soon as coming after that, his appetite returned. Dalglish went to Blackburn Rovers. We know what he done there. But when I look at it, I reckon Man United want to challenge as much, but I do believe Liverpool would have slowly lost their way, because I do believe the advert of the Premier League was always going to come. There was always talk about a Super League, as they coined it then. There was no name to be created for the Big 10 teams. And as you said, a lot of people don't know this. It was created for Manchester United for competition. They were scared that Liverpool were going to dominate for the foreseeable. You talk about Liverpool 18 titles to Manchester United 7. I think the next successful team was Everton for league titles, not even Arsenal. Exactly. So it tells you what you need to know. Do you know what I'm saying? So man. So we're back there. We're still the best team in the world, for domestic honours and that. In England, anyway, I should say. So we're just gonna be grateful, going off topic slightly, be grateful that what we got and live for the moment. Sometimes you just have to just deal with things, what you have at your disposal. A lot of people are worrying about the signings, but we're gonna touch on more players. So
we're gonna touch on some more, Before we go, guys, let's carry on with this. We're gonna go to the next topic. Yes, people. What we're discussing that is Trent the best right back in world football. Rob, kick it off, bro. Is he the best?
Well, my Facebook comments. What game it was? It was when he scored. When he had 3 assists. What game was that last season? And he was like, "There you go, fantasy
Route
fans."
6
That's for you, fantasy fans. Because he got like 20 odd points. Mate, I put a comment that he's the young Cafu. He's got that potential, mate. Like I know that's a big bold statement, but like English Cafu, like he's that right foot for a defender, mate. And eventually he will play at right midfield. I do see that, and that's what he wants to do eventually. But the boy's so talented and so intelligent for his years, isn't he? Yeah. You know, obviously the corner against Barcelona, but just what he does, just outside foot, whips it in, just mate, his touch, he's class defender. He is
100%. Thanks, Rob. Laser, down to you, bro. Is he the best right back in the world or not?
6 T-double-A. For me, he is without a shadow of a doubt. Hailing from Liverpool, the scouts are in our team. Trent Alexander-Arnold. For me, guys, I'm getting gassed, as you can tell. He is the best right back in the world. Yeah. For me, I know you're liking him to Cafu, and a lot of people, say similar. But for me, he's a player in his own league. Like, you can see the similarities. How he gets up and down the flank, his right foot, his delivery, how he can pick out a pass when he's swapping the ball from flank to flank as well. I seen him do a pass on the weekend, and you could tell he had that instinct where he thought it was Robbo. I think you know the
Let me
pass
ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Laser. Before you continue, bro. If he wasn't English, would they consider him as the best right back right now? Let's be honest there.
Let's be honest.
Even the haters.
Let's be honest.
that lap says it all.
Let's be honest. Hell yeah! How yeah, baby. And I tell you why, it is hate. Absolute hate. If he was playing for Manchester City, if he was playing for our arch rivals, Manchester United, he will be lauded to the hills because he plays from Liverpool. He can't defend. He gets lucky, this, that, and that. Yeah. That is absolute nonsense. It's cobblers. And I'm not saying this as a Liverpool fan. Trent Alexander-Arnold is a special once-in-a-generational talent. And we have to appreciate that guy, why he's playing for our club. And I sincerely mean that. Because those players come and go. They don't come every day. Do you know what I mean? Brother. They don't come every day.
And a fit Trent for England, we would have won the Euros.
Yeah.
That creativity, that's what we missed. That's what we missed. And he would have shown 100%. How good he was on the world stage.
100%. Rob, I just think, while it was last season, it was a collective effort. You got to remember as well, he had a little bout of COVID. And I could tell you guys initially, a lot of people... You know, this is another topic, and I think we have to talk about this on one of the shows one day. A lot of people dismiss it. COVID, it's a cold. You know, I put my hands up. I was a little bit like that initially. I always believed it. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be a man and hold my hands up. But I've caught it, Rob. Fuzzy knows about this, and it ain't a joke. When it gets you, there's different levels of it. Trent had that. Remember, he was injured in the Man City game at the Etihad. Our season wasn't right. As a collective, the whole of our team didn't play right. We were losing games. Remember, we lost our 12th man as well. Trent Alexander, as the saying goes, form is temporary, class is permanent. He is world class. Absolutely. Go on, Rafa Benitez.
Xavi Alonso.
Luis Garcia.
I'm enjoying this show, you know, guys. Absolutely enjoying
I'm loving it, bro. I'm loving it. I'm glad you guys came on, man.
Live,
honestly, I'm glad you guys came on.
Everybody locked in. Still, it is 25 minutes past 10, and we do appreciate
We've gone over the time. We've gone over the time. Yeah, let me just give you a little talk about him. Like I asked you guys about Trent. If he wasn't English, would people rate him? Hell, freaking, fucking yeah. Because I have never seen a right back like this that's got it all. Pace, crossing ability. Yes, he can be suspect for defending, but every right back is like that. It's not just him. All the so-called right backs. Cafu wasn't the best defender in the world, but he was still considered the best right back in the world. Alaves wasn't the best defender in the world, but he was still considered the best right back in the world. Why? Because Trent is English. You're putting him aside like he's a piece of like shit. Nah, man. He's once in a lifetime right back. I've never seen a right back that's got Beckham. He's got De Bruyne running with him. You know, like he does so many things other right backs have never ever done, and he doesn't get the credit he deserves. To me, he's the best right back in the world, and just for that, I got to put this on there. Yes, people, we're back. I'm loving it. This man called LAZER. This man called LAZER created all this stuff. That's how good he is, man. He's not just the talk of the show.
We created
commercial genius.
He's not the talk of the show. He's the master of the show. Yeah. So we're gonna be talking about. Is the Matip and Van Dijk partnership the best in the Premier League, guys? I'll start with you, Rob. Take it away, bro. The microphone is yours.
Is it the best? If he could stay fit, hands down, that would be the best for the longevity of the season. But yeah, he's Mr. Glass to me. Like he's class when he plays, but glass when he doesn't. But mate, like Virgil, you could tell he loves it. He passes the ball to it. Like Gomez, he's decent, good defender, but on the ball, Matip and Virgil, they just spray everywhere.
It's the chemistry, isn't it? It's the chemistry.
Yeah, those 50, 60-yard balls they were playing, mate. Like, and then you had Alisson at the back that was really good on the ball too. Those three at the back, they were just so comfortable, mate.
Rob, have you seen Alisson now? Like, he takes more risks than he was doing last season. Like he's comfortable there, isn't he? He's doing. That's what I'm loving watching Liverpool.
He's got his mojo back, hasn't he?
Of course, bro. That save he done against Barnes, what a save! That was going in.
And
How did he do that? How did he do that?
I tell you, as soon as he did it, I thought, oh my God, my predictions come true, 2-1. And this is why Alisson is the best in the world. 100% the best in the world, man.
Big presence.
So, LAZER, take it away, bro. Are they the best partnership in the Premier League?
Virgil van Dijk, Mr. Calm as you like, and Mr. Joe Matip at the moment, right? Being real now, they have the potential to be the best centre-back pairing, not only domestically in the Premier League, in the world. The only thing that gets in the way of that is Matip. Injury record, if he can stand up straight and not flop from time to time.
Like a McDonald's straw.
Then we can have that, guys. And it's a shame because when I look at Joe Matip, I see immense quality in that player. There's a reason why Klopp got him to play for Liverpool. He sacrificed his international team, Cameroon, just to play football, right? He hasn't got the best, injury record and stuff, but the way he brings out the ball from defense, it's like an attacking centre back. He's got his own style. It comes out and it finds these ground passes and it reaches his target. Let's be honest, sometimes he does it and he gets carried away and he loses the ball. But as Fuzzy alluded to, you can see Alisson feels so much more comfortable. Remember, guys, Virgil van Dijk and Matip are the central defence that won us the Champions League. And if I'm going to be honest, and this is not taking anything away from Joe Gomez, I prefer them two as the number one. Joe Gomez, for me, has a better recovery pace. when we're getting done on counters and stuff like that. He holds his ground a bit better. But Matip has got better at reading of the game, and his attacks, the way how he starts attacks, is better as well. He's got better understanding between Van Dijk and himself. Good telepathy and communication. So if they can keep it without a question of a doubt, Fuzzy, they're the best.
Yeah. With me, I gotta be honest with you, and you know me, you two. Like I say they're the best.
Yeah, you keep it
I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn what other people say. I love Matip. It's just his injuries issues. But what I loved about the last couple of games is he knows his mate Van Dijk ain't 100% yet. But each time the ball went over Van Dijk, who was doing the recovering for him? Matip. The guy who hasn't got pace, the guy who's made out of glass. People forget, man, he has got pace. And
he has? Yeah.
Rob, tell me, when did you ever see someone get past Matip? When did you ever see? Have you name a game like someone got past him? See? It's silence. Because it never happens. It never happens, bro.
What about that stat, though? Liverpool have only lost once in 50 appearances that Matip has started. That is
there you go, guys.
Stunning.
Even with love wrong. Even playing with love wrong. Even playing with love wrong.
Yeah. You know what I mean? That's phenomenal, isn't it? Once.
It's his injuries.
It's just his injuries, man. It's underrated, man. Underrated, man. It's sad. It's you're 100% right, Lazer. But to me, the way
guys, do you think Jurgen Klopp? We know he ain't gonna be able to sustain a full season. If he does, I'll be shot, and I think we all will be shot. Do you think it's a case where Klopp is playing him now to get what he can out of him? Because we're solid with him, them two at the back. We know
we're very solid. Clean sheets, bro. Clean sheets on a regular.
And you remember that record I had together as well?
Yes.
You got to remember, we got the new guy. You know, we got Konate. We got Gomez as well. You know, I don't know what the situation with Phillips is. But do you think Klopp is going to play him now to get the most that he can get? Or do you think he's going to rotate him? What do you think about that, guys?
Go on, Rob. Take it away, mate.
Yeah, but you've mentioned all those defenders. Crisis last season? What crisis? That feels like 10 seasons ago now. What is it? Davies was coming in from championship and oh man. Just what a great solid. You know, obviously Konate, we got to see a bit from him, but he looks good, strong. Not as fluent on the ball from what I saw in pre-season, but he looks a unit. He reminds me a bit of like a sort of Distan or a company, that sort of like powerhouse at the back.
It's got power considering his gangly.
Recovery pace is amazing. His recovery pace is amazing. I've seen him in the pre-season when someone went past him. He out of nowhere, he just ran after him, just got the ball, and luckily it was offside. But his recovery, mate, his recovery pace is amazing. With Gomez, like you said, Rob and Lazer, I said it in the beginning of the season, and a lot of people just put me down. They said we're gonna get a new right back. I said we ain't gonna get a new right back. I think Gomez is gonna be the one that's challenging for Trent's position, and like past seasons. And I think I'm right in that, because we ain't gonna buy another defender as far as I'm aware. Playing the right back. So sometimes I think they might push Trent forward and play Gomez as a right back. Gomez is not a bad right back. He might not be like Trent. You're not going to be the same as the guy in front of you. You know what I mean? You have your own qualities. If there's a game like we're playing against Messi and Mbappe and all that stuff, we could put Gomez there and he will be solid. He will win the ball in the air. He will outpace probably all of them as well. So maybe not Mbappe, but you never know. We don't know how outpace he is. Yeah, so you got to think about it that way. Tight games, these guys could actually play in place of Trent, or he could cover a centre back. But I think this season Gomez is going to be the right back cover for Trent, and I think Konate is going to be challenging for the centre back position.
Saying that, Fuzzy, do you see Nico Williams staying then? What role does he have in the team? What do you think, Rob?
Can I be honest with you, bro? It's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. Yeah, we've seen him. He's too slow. His recovery is too slow. His passing is too slow. Yeah. Everything he does is in slow motion. He came on against Denmark. I think it's Denmark, and they played well.
Yeah, Denmark.
And then the ball came to the far post. He he kicked it to the striker, and the striker tapped it in.
Yeah.
This is the mistakes he makes. We can't have. Yeah, we can't have those mistakes, man.
He's not top of the league level.
Nah, he's not, man. He's just, let's be honest, he's not.
We gave him the chance.
We did. It is not. Yeah.
Yeah. So Lazer, let's move on to the obviously the comments. Is there anyone
Let's have a look. What did we get? We had Football United TV. He said big up to all. Sir. And then we had my lovely wife. She's saying she's loving the vibes, loving the vibes.
Baba. Cool, you're punching it, yeah? Oh, you got beauty. Must be the Liverpool charm, mate. The Liverpool charm.
That's my wife, you know.
Very lovely lady, mate. Very lovely.
Thank you.
Happy for you,
guys, as well. People, right? Hold on a moment. We have to get some promotion in before we head onto our final topic. If you haven't done so already, you are being naughty and you're going to get bad luck. Go over and subscribe to... Yes, guys.
Bad luck.
You have to do that, guys. Help the channel grow. We will be doing a live Premier League preview show this coming Friday at 9 p.m.
Yes, sir.
So, the final topic regarding all things Liverpool. Got a couple more, but this is one of the main ones. Harvey Elliott made his full debut against Burnley this weekend. Rob, what was your thoughts on Harvey Elliott's performance?
Mate, I love the lads. It's breath of fresh air seeing him play, and yeah, he's going to be. What I like about him, he's not scared. He's got that confidence. He just gets stuck in his touch. He's not scared to like take the ball on, pass it. He's got good intelligence for an 18-year-old, and yeah, mate, he's gonna. I think Klopp's, like a lot of people have been saying, I think they are right in the fact that Klopp's going to drip feed him into the team. I don't think he's going to be like regular, but I think he'll have like a squad part to play the season, which, because we got to remember he was the star man at Blackburn Rovers last season. Yeah, so this is a hell of a step up. We don't want him to get overwhelmed. We got very good talent there. You know, bring on the games, and we're going to see some special things from that young lad.
Thanks, Rob.
Yeah. While we're on the subject of Elliott, at the moment, there seems to be a lot of talk on Elliott. The spotlight's on him. You can see he oozes star quality. There's something about him. You know, he's not scared. You know, he plays beyond his years. He's very mature. He had a standout season alone at Blackburn. But one thing that I can't help thinking, what has happened to Curtis Jones? It's almost like he's gone down the pecking order. Do you know what I mean, guys?
He should be worried.
He should be very worried, Curtis Jones. But he's got a lot to do still, Harvey Elliott. You can see there was moments where he lacked that extra bit of quality. A lot of that's experience as well. You got to take his age into account. But he is definitely one for the future. And I think it would be very stupid of Liverpool to, you know, things don't work out like we've seen with Brewster, players in the past. There's numerous players, can't name them all. We move him on, and then he goes to flourish somewhere else. This is a player we've got to keep a very good eye on and look after him. You know, he's playing amongst world-class players. You can see he's got something about him. You know, and I predict him to score a couple of goals before Christmas. I do, whether that be in the League Cup or in the league. You know, that is, you know, a big statement to start a game. Yes, it wasn't a massive team. It was Burnley. And he also took the kick as well in the centre circle. Yeah. So that would do wonders for his confidence, man. You know, to be playing against players like this. And another thing,
at Anfield.
At Anfield, the whole best stadium in the world. But you know what strikes me? Another thing as well, guys. I couldn't help thinking 2 years ago when we won the Premier League, if you remember, he had bit parts as a substitute. He was 16 years old, 17. He made, I think it was 4 appearances shy of a 5th one for his medal. I remember a lot of people was like, oh, how come Jurgen Klopp didn't just bring him on and make him get his medal? Because he done it with Nico Williams. Curtis was always getting bit parts anyway. I think Jurgen Klopp purposely done that to say, look, You've still got time to play. You're not just going to get a medal and you haven't worked for it because you might become Billy Big Bollocks. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And this will make a player more hungry. You've got to work and earn for it. Alex Ferguson used to do that with a lot of players in them days. Yeah. You had to play 10 games to get a Premier League medal. I think 5 games. If I'm going to be honest, he's taking the piss. 5 games. He's taking a piss to get a Premier League medal. It is. And he looked disappointed, but now he's come back a better man. You know what I mean? He's gone away on loan, and now he's going to be... You can see the hunger and desire in it. You can clearly see it. Do you know what I mean? It means a lot for him, man. And I'm happy. I'm really happy for him. And he's going places. And the good day.
Knows what he's doing with him.
Yeah, Lazy, if you want to read the comments, bro, I think there's some.
Yeah, well, we got John Conway. He says Elliot had a great game. I agree with you there. The way he controlled that ball on his chest as well was good. Very, very good for Van Dijk.
Yeah.
You got to yourself.
Yeah, big up, John. With Elliot, as a footballer I was before, you got to look at the IQ of a player. He's only 18 and he plays like he's 25 already. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. I find it very strange. Don't forget, guys, before he came to Liverpool, a lot of the big foreign teams were after him. Real Madrid, Barcelona, and teams like that were actually after him. And he chose his boyhood club, Liverpool. And he's a fan of Liverpool. That's what's extra on this. And he's a humble kid as well. He's not one of those kids that's flashy or anything like that. He loves the club from the top to the bottom, from what I've seen of him as well. Yeah. Would be like a lot of people. I don't know if you guys heard it. A lot of people have been comparing him and Mount together. I said, Mount is already in the first team. He's playing. You can't really compare them yet. But
I think that's wrong.
It's wrong. It's wrong. But if you look at Harvey Elliott, he's a baller. He's an actual footballer. You know what I mean? He's one of those players, like you guys said earlier, once in a generation kind of players. He will be, mark my words, he will be one of the poster boys for English football in the future. I've never seen a kid with IQ like that, like what he's got in this country. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people.
Imagine him linking up with Foden.
Yeah, and he's 18. I think he'll be better than Foden. I do.
Yeah.
I think he'll be better than Foden as an all-round player. And I'm not just saying that as a Liverpool man. I'm going to be honest. There was a debate last season and people were getting ahead of themselves and saying Curtis Jones is better than Foden. He isn't. He isn't at the moment. So it's not as if I'm sticking up for all our players. I will call it how it is. I will call it down the middle. I see Harvey Elliott. He's still young. As Fuzzy was saying, he's got a great IQ. He plays well beyond his years. He can only get so much better. The ceiling is his limit. He's only up to there and he's playing like that now. Imagine him well up to there. Do you know what I mean? He's 18 years of age as well. That's a baby. Baby age. And he's playing amongst these players, elite players. And we will see him in the Champions League, what he's made of. I think he oozes confidence. He strikes me as a player. If he takes a setback, he's going to get on with it. You know, some players, example, Nico Williams, he had all that abuse on Twitter. It knocked him for 6. And he hasn't recovered from it.
He hasn't recovered. Guys, before we go, obviously, what's your thoughts on the Burnley game, Lazer? You kick it off, bro.
Burnley game. Okay, if you put me back on that screen again. Right, thoughts on the Burnley game. I managed to see the first half in its entirety. What I saw, Burnley gave us a good goal. I seen it as a case of it being early kickoff. I've noticed when Liverpool play those early kickoffs. I don't know if it was a case of being nervous in front of the Anfield crowd. I don't really think so. You know, a lot of people saying it was a bit of nerves. But for me, I think it was luring Burnley into a false sense of security. We always had the quality to dispose of them. I was never worried. My only concern was I thought we may concede. I said to you, remember on the pre-match show, Fuzzy, that we will score 2 goals and maybe Burnley will nick one from a set piece. But I thought the standout players were Elliott and Matip. I thought Salah was wonderful as usual. Jota, although he scored the goal, he wasn't up to the full races as he normally can be. You know, whether he's saving himself, you know, he didn't need to exert so much energy. But I thought it was a good, you know, professional victory from the boys. I don't think it was in any danger of losing. And I believe even if Burnley, let's say, they nicked the equaliser or came back into the game, we would have just upped the intensity and went up the gears anyway. You know what I mean? And you can see when it got to 2-0, for what I've seen on the highlights, we were seeing the game out very calm, collected, and
professional.
Professional 2-0 victory. We didn't need to go for more goals. No. You know, it's a marathon.
I think we learned from last season losing against them as well. Yeah. You know, like Klopp was like, right, we're not going to go all out. We're going to show them a bit of respect here because they're a dangerous side against anyone. Yeah. So I think it was just like the back four and Alisson. They were just good at the back. You know, there wasn't really anything which troubled them. Matty, like we've been praising.
Rob, Klopp complained about the physical side of Burnley. I don't know if you heard about that. He
heard.
Said, like, they were too physical. They tried to injure our players and all that stuff. Do you agree with him or do you disagree with him?
No. I love Klopp to bits, but I think Crouchy said it as well post match, and he said along the same thoughts as me. We love him. He's an intelligent man, Klopp. I think it was just something to make the refs aware that, look, you know, watch out for it. But put it this way, how are those lower sides going to beat the likes of Chelsea, Liverpool and City without ruffling it up with us? You know, that's all part of it, isn't it? That's the only way they're going to do it, is counter-attack and getting physical. They haven't got the talent like, you know, these hundreds of millions of pounds.
I agree with what you're saying there, Rob. I think it's a case. We have a lot of history and a lot of bad blood. Klopp and Dyche, although they like each other professionally, I don't think Klopp likes the way how Burnley play, how he sets them up. You know,
I think it's ever since that Gomez injury, isn't it?
Gomez won 3 years ago, 2018 at their place. We beat them 3-1. I think Shaq scored in that game, if I'm right. But anyway,
Mane, wasn't it Mane? I think it was Mane.
I think what Rob was alluded to is correct, 100% correct. I think it's a case with just putting the feelers out there, because what I've noticed in this opening couple of rounds of the Premier League, the referees have been letting a lot of things go. Have you noticed it?
Massively.
Yeah, I'm thinking, hang on a minute, it's like from there to there now. Like, how has that changed? But then we're going to go in Europe, the referees are not going to let none of that happen. Do you know what I mean? I've seen a lot of it in a lot of the highlights this week.
It's like proper Gerrard tackles now.
Yes. Very intelligent
Mascherano's.
Mascherano. My boy Mascherano. Yeah, man. But I think it's a case where he's putting the feelers out there just to just put that doubt into the referees and the board, you know, the Rileys and stuff, and make the hang on a minute. We might have to look into a bit of this. They're making a lot of things slide. Even the offsides as well. The rules have come a bit too relaxed. But other than that, we had Burnley. We had them, you know, that we was not in any danger that we were going to lose that game. I was never worried. Never worried that one bit.
In my opinion about the Burnley game, I think we played in the right way. We didn't go tit for tat. We just played our game, even though they were going in with hard tackles. We know there's more important games than these ones, you know what I mean? And you could see the difference between this game and last season's game as well. If this was last season, we would have lost. Everybody knows that. But and everybody says we make excuses because of the injuries. But these two games, hasn't anyone realised when we got our full team, we're a different team. You know what I mean? We normally would lose these two games if it was I'm telling you. So listen. I think we went about it in the right way. We didn't really fall for their game. I've always said it. In order for us to win titles, we don't play other people's games. We play our own game. I mean, if we go for tit for tat, that's when you start, losing concentration, and then you can see silly goals. If you know what I mean, guys. But listen, the Chelsea game is going to be a big game, and I think they will be taught a lesson in that game. I think they're going to be buoyed about. They're going to be slapped around. And I think Lukaku. Wait till you see it. I think Lukaku is going to be in the pockets of probably. Forget about Van Dijk. No, forget about Van Dijk. I think Van Dijk's just going to brush him off to Matip and says, "You take care of him, mate. Let me do the long balls and all that stuff. Yeah, let me do the long balls. Let me get the goals for the." You know what I mean? So I think that's what's going to happen.
I'm so glad that Mr. Van Dijk.
I'm gassed.
Back, because he's just one of the glues, with the spine of the team, man. But as you were saying, Chelsea, I'm not worried about this game. I actually think both teams. I think Tuchel will set his side up very cautiously. I don't think he's going to say to them, "Let's attack him. Let's go at the throat." He'd be stupid to do that. A roaring crowd back at Anfield as well. We got our main guns back. The boys are a different animal this season. And as I was saying, yes, in previous seasons, right? just one thing I want to say. When we missed out on 97 points, that was very unfortunate. Now, if you look at the season after that, when we went to win on the title, we started fast. And I think it was a case of the Liverpool players thinking, oh, my God, we've got to accumulate as many points as we can before we get to that stage.
As I said before, it's what I said to you before, Lazer. The reason they did that is because if we go for like a long run with like City going forward, us going forward, there's always a screw job around the corner. You know that. You know that, Lazer.
Yeah. Well said.
That's why we have to get all the points.
It's the Premier League.
Yeah. But as I was saying
in the world.
I think it's a case with, and I don't know if you guys agree with me on that. You can tell me if you're not. I've studied how Manchester City are from last season. For me personally, don't get it twisted. Manchester City are still a very good side. But if you look at the level compared to Manchester City of the 100-point season, the 98 points, the few seasons ago, they're nowhere near that. Now, they got 86 points last season. I see it as they won the title by default. Liverpool, if that never happened, we would have pushed them all the way. Now, I think Mr. Jurgen Klopp has sat back, looked at that. He's looked at the other teams that could challenge. Are Chelsea going to get 90 points? I can't see it. They can get 80s, but not 90. Man United, 90 points? No freaking way. So what is said to the boys now? Boys, take your time. We'll win the games, but we'll win them, professional manner, calm and
our way.
Tilt. We're going to take our time. So I think don't be surprised if the game ends up in a draw this weekend, because I think we can win them, no doubt. Yeah. But I think Klopp is looking at the long term where he knows the league's still coming one. It's not going to be like previous seasons where, let's say, for example, we fall behind by 3 or 4 points, 5 points. Oh my God, it's over. Yeah. Let's be honest. Yeah. A few years ago, if you fell 5 points behind City, it was over.
It's a mess.
I don't think it's the case. When I look at Man City, they're nowhere near that team that won it with 100 points before. They're nowhere near our teams that won it. The two Liverpool teams, 97 points, and when we did win it. So I think we'll be fine. I'm expecting a very another professional performance. We're going to obviously up the intensity, go up the gears. And Chelsea won't know what's hitting them in some places. Whether we take our chances is our problem. If we get the chances on the plate and we take them, then we should dispatch of them. I really think we will dispatch them, Chelsea.
John Conway says it's going to be 2-0 to Liverpool. So, I'm optimistic. I'm with you, mate. I am with you. Guys, the final, before we go, is Liverpool FC one of the favourites, or are we top 4 at best? Rob, take it away, brother. This time we're not going to do screens. We're going to stay here together.
Keep it like this.
We're going to be top two, mate. Battle with City. I think we'll have the squad, as we said earlier. I think we'll have the squad to dethrone them. Watch out.
So, Lazer, what do you think, mate? Are we like...
For me, the top 2, it all remains with the injuries. If we can keep everyone fit, I don't see how we're not going to win the Premier League. I've had time to think about it. Yes, I was a little bit shaky a couple of weeks ago, but when I sat back and analysed it and looked at the team, looked at the squad, I think Minamino will stay now. Jota we know what Jota can do. We're going to lose Mane and Salah. Apparently, it's only for 2 games. 2 Premier League games.
Oh.
Yeah. 2. Remember, you got the FA Cup.
What is it, international football or something? Oh, okay.
African Cup of Nations, bro. So there's an
international...
I'm saying,
why are we losing them for 2 games? Is it international football or...
International break and the FA Cup.
So, nice.
Man, 2 Premier League games. We must
We're gonna sleep well tonight.
I'm sorry, we're gonna sleep well tonight. But listen, I think Liverpool could do this, man. Look, we've got Konate. I've seen him in pre-season. He is a beast. Very pacey, very physical. He's got all the attributes to be a top centre back. We've got Mr. Calm, as you like, back. Matic, if he could keep fit up to Christmas, for me, that is a bonus. Then we've got Gomez. We've got, substitutes to come in. I think we can be in the top 2 and go all the way. Top 4. I don't see how Liverpool are scrambling for top 4. I just can't see how that's going to happen unless we get the injuries.
I think we're going to win the league, man. I'll put it out there. I'm only basing it on last season. I'll tell you why. We had a depleted squad last season and we were still top of the league in January. We only slipped down the league because of injuries. And look at the teams we slipped down the league to. West Brom, Burnley, Brighton, Newcastle, Southampton. If these players were there, would we lose those points? That's what you got to ask yourself. That's what I'm basing it on. And I think we're gonna win, man. Listen, I'm confident. I believe in my team.
That's 12 points drop. When you think about it, we definitely would have. And you can take into consideration, look what happened to us. We finished 5 freaking points behind the scrum.
I know. And they have most of their players fit.
Guys, honestly, guys, I honestly appreciate you guys for coming on today. Much appreciated, guys. Thank you. I'll be back shortly.
Cheers, Foles.
Yes, people, I hope you enjoyed this. I always say we can bring great content for you guys, and these guys know what they're talking about in regards to Liverpool as well. So please hit that subscription button, hit that notification button, and please go to LAZER's channel and subscribe as well. You can see he's one of the best, and subscription helps a lot of people, so please do that for us and hit the notification button on his channel as well. And please join us for UFT on Friday. We're going to have Arsenal fans coming on, and we're going to discuss Arsenal, and we're going to talk about the whole Premier League as well, and how it finished, and we'll discuss the table as well. We could have discussed it today, but we've got too many topics. But yeah, we'll discuss it on UFT, so please go down there and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Much appreciated, and I'll see you soon. I'll see you soon, people. Thank you. Intro.